Today on Monkey Life, wildlife vet John Lewis examines chimp Jestah, following concerns about a strange lump on his lower lip.
I need to get some good pictures of this for the pathologist.
Alison goes to new heights with an enrichment plan to blow the socks off Hananya's troop.
Want to get them up high onto those hoses so that they all have to come out and really use their strength and ability. It should be exciting.
And is this sheet showerproof? Orangutan A-mei takes cover from the rain. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
She's alert, looking around. Quiet though, which is nice. All good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. Concern is growing about one of the park's older chimps. At the bachelor group, high-ranking Jestah has developed a sinister-looking lump on his lip. The wound, or lesion, has been getting bigger by the day and hasn't responded to any medication. The lump is so big, it's causing Jestah issues when eating. The team has called in wildlife vet John Lewis to take a look.
Jestah has a lesion, an abnormality on the inside of his lower lip here. Now, it's come and gone over the last few weeks, sometimes getting bigger, sometimes getting smaller, sometimes looking like just a wound, sometimes looking like an infection. We haven't really been able to control it, so today I'll take a biopsy from the lesion to determine exactly what it is. So we're on a bit of a fishing exercise again, but at least we'll find out exactly what that lesion is one way or the other.
But in order to do that, Jestah needs to be anaesthetised.
Come on, buddy.
Many of the park's larger primates have been trained to take injections willingly. Jestah is one of them. As John preps the hospital ready for the procedure...
Can we bring the emergency box down with us as well?
Ready? Yep.
The primate care team give Jestah the drug.
Good boy.
Once it's taken effect, the adult chimp is quickly moved into a secure travel crate. As soon as John is satisfied Jestah is stable, the team take him across to the hospital, where he's weighed.
61.5 minus that, so it's about 60.
Jestah is then transferred to the examination table and intubated.
So we're going to take that behind the gag. I need to get some good pictures of this for the pathologist.
John will take a biopsy to send to a specialist pathologist for analysis, along with photographs for reference. He can now have his first good look at Jestah's lump, and his initial examination gives him plenty of cause for concern.
It's feeling very solid, and it goes actually through the entire thickness of the lip. So I'm a bit more suspicious it might actually be a tumour. So we're going to take a sample and see if that is or isn't the case.
To get a definitive diagnosis, John needs to remove a small piece of Jestah's lip from both sides of the lesion. This will then be sent off to a laboratory for testing.
I think we've got enough there.
Erring on the side of caution, he decides to wait for the results before proceeding with any further surgery.
I'm not removing the whole lump. I want to know what that is before we do that. It's suspicious. I think it is a tumour. This is my guess, but I don't think it's a very aggressive tumour in the sense that I doubt if it's spreading anywhere, but it will need surgical removal. You know, that's not going to be an easy piece of surgery, because with a lesion like that, you can't just remove that abnormal lump. You've got to remove normal tissue around the lump to make certain you've got everything in one go. So that's a large piece of tissue, but let's get the diagnosis first.
If the lump is cancerous, John needs to determine whether any secondary tumours have spread to Jestah's neck and chest. A series of X-rays should reveal anything sinister.
You need to try and establish whether it's spread. On superficial examination, there doesn't appear to be a big problem. So I'm still thinking, and I think hopefully that is a benign tumour that would respond to surgery.
Finally, blood samples are taken for further analysis.
40, 94, 48.
He looks nice, pink, breathing well.
John has done as much as he can today. It's now a waiting game until the results come back. The team will make sure Jestah is as happy and comfortable as possible until then. But it's going to be a worrying and stressful few days for everyone involved. It's a cold and miserable day at the park, but rain doesn't stop play at Tuan's group of orangutans. Primate care staff Jarno and Tom are putting out their morning breakfast of whole oranges and pieces of pineapple. But to make things a little different, bundles of freshly cut bamboo, wrapped in sheets, are being attached to the food feeders.
It's nice to be able to give them something to do. So today, in their pulley here, inside there they got their fruit orange today for breakfast, and also bamboos as well. So we're gonna pull it all the way to the top. So as they climb up, they will get so excited with what inside the katu pot, and they will be so curious what inside the blanket here as well. So they got some sort of a double enrichment.
Most of the primates at the park enjoy a diet including plenty of browse. It provides important nutrients and much-needed fibre to aid their gut health. But sourcing browse in the winter months is difficult. Fortunately, the park has an abundance of bamboo.
In the wild, they're not just eating fruit, of course. They love eating so many different variety of leaf. But today, winter time now, is we don't have much greenery. But mostly when it comes to summers, all the orang favorite leaf is willow. They love willow, hazels, silver. They love to eat silverbird as well.
With the deluge continuing, Tuan's enclosure is beginning to resemble a rainforest. The wet conditions will test the group's strength and balance even further. Orangutans are clever. A-mei finds a sheet to protect her from the worst of the wind and rain. A tunnel offers even better shelter. Awan waits patiently as the rain teams down, with breakfast just an arm's length away. Finally, the temptation proves too much. She dashes out to a pile of bamboo. The others have yet to raid, and finds a bounty of food. Tuan shows just how strong and agile he still is. He's thought to be about 36 years old and weighs in at around 80 kilograms. But he can get around the apparatus quite easily when he feels inclined. And he's pretty bright. He makes an ingenious cover out of bamboo, sheltering himself from the worst of the rain while foraging for food with his other hand. Last out is Roro, with 3-year-old Hujan clinging on for the ride. He's not sure what to make of the forest that's mysteriously appeared in the enclosure. But Roro's worked it out and dumps him unceremoniously in the tunnel. In the wild, orangutans' forest homes are subject to the rainy season. and they live with frequent deluges of rain. Their hair is long and full of oils that can repel water, allowing the rain to fall off their coats. Finally, the rain relents, and Hujan decides it's time to find some breakfast. His tiny hands are perfect for manipulating an orange from one of the food feeders. With the adults still about and hunting for more, he decides to head up high where there's less risk of him losing his bounty. Awan indulges in a little house clearance to check for any last pieces of fruit missed by the others. Tuan has had enough for one morning. He's off for a rest in the bedrooms. A-mei's still undercover, hoping for a little peace and quiet. But when the youngsters are around, there isn't much chance of that. The primate care team constantly adapt feeding time for their charges, using innovative enrichment ideas to keep them interested and active. Today, the Woly Monkey team have come up with a plan to make breakfast an adventure for the pond group of woolly monkeys, led by dominant male Enzo. Based on a children's game, breakfast is being hidden in kerplunk-style tubes. Holes have been cut in the sides and the food trapped between layers of sticks, which have been pushed through.
We had a load of cardboard tubes donated to us, and we're always trying to think of new, fun, interesting things to do with the monkeys, make the days a bit more interesting, challenge them a little bit. So we've put some nice bit of fruit in here, and hopefully they'll just have a lot of fun.
To reach their breakfast, the woolly monkeys will have to use their brains and agility to pull out the sticks to release the food. It promises to be an interesting morning for the group. The woolies are let out. The feeders have been hung all over the enclosure, some with easier access for the smaller members of the group, like Enya, and others up high so the older, larger monkeys have to work just that little bit harder. Female Pakaya is quick off the mark, and it doesn't take her long to solve this puzzle. But is she cheating? Instead of pulling out the sticks, she's worked out she can get her hand into the tubes and manipulate the food with her long, dexterous fingers. She may have an excuse. The team think Pakaya is pregnant with her fourth child and probably feeding for two. Her youngest, 17-month-old Enya, is already content and confident enough to explore by herself. She's an incredibly independent young lady who loves to climb and hang, using her prehensile tail for support. But she hasn't quite figured out the solution to this game yet. Pakaya's eldest daughter, Oriana, has managed to pull out a stick and is licking the sticky, fruity leftovers. The final female in the group is Isla. She joined a few months ago when the park undertook a huge woolly swap around. It's taken a bit of time for her to settle in and be accepted, but she's now fully integrated and loving life with her new housemates. Isla settles for a less challenging breakfast of lettuce leaves, while some of the others tackle the tricky feeders suspended from the wobbly hoses. The new feeders have been a stimulating way to start the day for the woolies. But for some, it's all been a little too much. At Bart's group, the primate care team are keen to solve a mystery that's been bothering them all year. For some months, they were certain Chimp Cathy was pregnant. A positive test and an enlarged tummy all pointed to the happy news. But as time went on, there were no further signs that a baby was on the way. Concern grew that if Cathy wasn't pregnant, then something else, possibly something sinister, could be the cause of her symptoms. A few days ago, while at the park to check a number of the primates, wildlife vet John Lewis looked in on Cathy in one of the chimp bedrooms.
Ah, good girl. Can I feel? Good girl. A bit more. What she's doing is when she pushes forward, it's tense, so it will feel tense. She has to relax, but there's nothing wrong about all other aspects of her life. She's eating, she's behaviour, she's not obviously in discomfort. I think there's little point in knocking her out to examine her without ultrasound. Yeah. And I think there's value in that.
It was difficult for John to confirm a diagnosis on the 38-year-old chimp in a noisy and confined indoor space.
She's an older animal, and she has what appears to be a slightly swollen belly, but she's not bothered by it. Her behaviour is normal, her appetite is normal, everything else is normal. But in an older female, you have to be concerned about the possibility of, abnormal growths in the reproductive tract or other things going wrong in the abdomen. But to get a handle on that, I need ultrasound. Now, she'll let me touch her abdomen, but every time she presents it, it's tense. So I can't actually get beyond the muscle layer. So that's not helping. It's clearly not painful. So I think next time I'm in, we'll organise an ultrasound for her.
Local vet Dave Harding's now here to join John and undertake the procedure. Taking into account Cathy's age and the fact that the ultrasound will be a fairly quick process, it's decided to keep Cathy's anaesthesia to a minimum and do the checks in the chimp house. That way, she won't have to be moved to the hospital and the procedure will be quicker.
It might be absolutely nothing, and that's the best outcome. Or it could be something a little bit more serious. We might have to do something about it, but we don't know, that's all.
After a thorough check, to everyone's relief, the ultrasound reveals nothing sinister at all in Cathy's abdomen. But also, no baby.
I'm just getting nothing.
But Dave does find large pockets of gas that could be causing her stomach to distend. His recommendation is a change of diet for the ageing chimp. The team will take his advice and monitor Cathy over the next few months to see if her condition improves. Keeping the primates healthy, active and interested is a priority for the primate care team. And they often go to extraordinary lengths to come up with exciting ideas to engage the park's residents. This morning's offering for Hananya's group of 18 should blow their socks off.
We've had donated an entire set of socks from a defunct football team, and it's a real shame. They're beautiful socks, but they're no longer going to be used. So what we've done for everybody inside of each socks, there's tennis ball, some nuts, a licorice stick. Want to get them up high onto those hoses so that they all have to come out and really use their strength and ability and see how well they get on while they're doing it. So it should be exciting.
Alison has enlisted the help of Cara and the maintenance team to hang the socks up high on the hoses and climbing frame.
I hate heights. Yeah, picked the two best people for it, really, didn't we? Okay, I think we're good.
The challenge should prove a knotty problem for the chimps. The socks have been tied at one end and are being secured to the platforms. They'll have to use their core strength and agility to undo the knots and reach the treats inside. The result hangs in the balance, but Alison has a theory who'll come out on top.
I predict the ladies will be the focused ones who really stick with it and then have an opinion about who gets what. So I think Johnny might be at the top, and we might see Johnny with 4 or 5 socks in her hands and feet and still having an opinion about what everybody else has, but we'll have to wait and see.
Hananya's enclosure has been transformed into one long washing line. It's time to find out how the group will react. The slide is opened, and initially, the group are slow to come out. But once Hananya spots there's something different, the charge is on. An animated bunch, led by Thelma, head high, eager to check out the colourful display. The excitement is reaching fever pitch, and they haven't even untied a sock yet. Hananya is beside himself, grabbing the line of socks in a display to show who's boss. His testosterone-fueled demonstration doesn't last long, and the troops soon get stuck into the colourful clothing. Patricia is first to work out how to untie the hanging treats, and quickly bags a pair. Honey uses a less subtle technique and tries to rip the material open with her teeth. Evelyn seeks permission from Hananya before tackling a sock. She makes a submissive gesture, reaching out a hand for reassurance. She doesn't want to take a prize from under the alpha male's nose. An encouraging hug says, "Go right ahead." Further along the hose, as Alison suspected, Johnny is collecting enough socks to start a five-a-side team. She's bagged so many she can only just manoeuvre her way around the climbing frame. The high hoses are quite wobbly, so the chimps need excellent hand and foot coordination to untie and open the socks. The next challenge is cracking open the walnuts found inside. But chimps have strong jaws and large teeth, and they make short work of the tough shells. It seems everyone has managed to tackle the sock test, one way or another. By the end of play, the enclosure resembles the aftermath of a big match win. But there's always one youngster who doesn't know when it's time to stop, and wants to party on. Next time on Monkey Life. Anxious moments as chimp Jestah goes under the knife following a diagnosis of mouth cancer.
We're going to have to end going sort of right in here.
Because the whole of that lip is going to have to go.
And the nursery orangutans have a ball with a colourful morning treat.